Welcome back to Hardball. Former talk show host Montel Williams took a stand this year, throwing his support for president behind Governor John Kasich of Ohio, who, by the way, a lot of people I know supported. But with Governor Kasich out of the race right now and Donald Trump the nominee of the Republican Party, Williams has kept silent about who he'll vote for come November, which is coming quickly until tonight. He's here with us to tell us more about a big decision, one he didn't make lightly. In a USA Today op-ed posted just minutes ago, Mr. Williams writes, Donald Trump represents a clear and present danger to our country. As much as I wish the system wasn't stacked against the libertarian ticket, it is, making it an unrealistic way of stopping Trump. That leaves Clinton. She was not my first choice, but she is the right choice on a host of issues. Given the threat to America posed by Trump, Clinton is the only choice, and I will vote accordingly. Montel Williams joins us right now. Montel, we just had a very passionate position here taken by Ron Reagan against the Trump guy, Boris Epstein. What is your passion leading you to right now? Do you have passion for either of these candidates or any of them right now?
I have passion truly against Donald Trump, and I'm sorry to say it that way. And it's against the entire idea and concept of him being president of the United States. And that's the only reason why I'm speaking out. And so now, am I enthusiastically endorsing Hillary Clinton? I'm going to endorse and say that I'm going to go inside of that booth, and rather than be quiet about what I'm going to do, I'm going to push the button for her. Those are my only two choices, and that's the only clear choice to make sure that America can be lifted out of what I think is a very clear and present danger, having Donald Trump even in this race. And
I know a number of people like you, Montel, including some family members whose names I can't disclose, but there are a lot of people talking like that. They don't like some of the things Trump has been saying. They are dearment, as we say in my religion, dearment impediments, things you can't get past. I mean, look, for me, a lot of them, the things I get to bug me right now. Or what he said to the Khan family about their kid that was killed. I don't like the fact the kids of Trump out there killing wildlife. I mean, it's maybe not germane to a lot of people, but when I see people with their pictures with dead leopards and these endangered species, I go, wait a minute, is that your value system? You like your picture taken with dead, endangered species in Africa? Those things, talking about some of the things that, well, what were yours? What were your dearment impediments to ever voting for Trump?
You've nailed several of them, but I got to tell you, the last two, the Khan family debacle, when he had the nerve, the absolute nerve, to disparage and vilify a family, a Gold Star family, and to intimate some way, shape, or form they're undeserving of that status because they happen to be Muslim, when he and none of his lineage has put on a uniform to defend this country, but he very quickly talks about how fast he's willing to send more boys off to die. And then we hear, oh, there's issues with the VA, but he has zero plan whatsoever. And at least Hillary is acknowledging several things that are clearly different from the way Donald thinks. And so, therefore, maybe some of the things I kind of agree with, some things I don't. Look, and most people don't know this. When I was on active duty in the military, I was a duty intelligence officer, a cryptologic officer. I spent the majority of my time stationed at the National Security Agency when I wasn't at sea, either deployed in the submarine or deployed on the surface of the ocean, working in cryptologic special duty intelligence. I had some of the highest clearances this country has, and I feel very responsible even now to not even discuss what I did on active duty, and I hardly ever do.
Let's cut to
so I have an issue with the emails, but my biggest issue right now with actually enthusiastically endorsing Mrs. Clinton is the fact that, she continues to deny the VA debacle. And this VA debacle, we have got to get this under control while everybody and their mother knows on the Wednesday after this election, we're going to be faced with putting more troops on the ground somewhere, and we haven't even fulfilled our obligation to those that have already served.
Let's talk about the two ways you look at a president. We've had some presidents who may have not been the most exciting, but they've been good people to hold the office for a brief period of time. Jerry Ford, for example, he came in under weird circumstance, being appointed vice president by Nixon, Nixon getting pushed out of office. He came in, he served us, I thought, honorably, although maybe not in a direction a lot of us would have thought would be helpful. But Trump, is the problem with Trump as you see it his policy or his temperament? In other words, is it your fear how he would just be there in the Oval Office on any given day and the power of that office and what he could do wrong, or is it the direction he'd take us in?
Immediately, I agree with you 100%. My fear is his temperament. My fear is his opinions on multiple things. But like today, he was given a security briefing, And I'm here to tell you, in the next 3 or 4 days, he may blurt something out because he's angry because somebody tweeted something wrong on him and give up a national security secret. We already know that he has people in his campaign. And you were talking about it earlier about Manafort and his connections. There's not a dictator out there that he hasn't really fallen in love with and worked with. So,
taking money from is not the same as falling in love with, but... Well,
taking money from people like, Marcos. I mean, we don't even talk about he took $1 million from Marcos.
Well, the good guys don't need that kind of PR, Montel. It's the bad guys that have to spend billions of dollars to make their names at least get off the front pages.
Correct. And so I guess what I'm saying to you is that I really fear the opportunity that listening to his rhetoric, that Wednesday after he's elected, there are going to be more troops on the ground, and we haven't even fulfilled the responsibility for those that have already served. And I think he's so dangerous in being able to say one thing that might incite another world war. Remember, World War I started because an ambassador was killed, and the rhetoric picked up very quickly. All we need to have is just one false statement, and we're in trouble.
Archduke Ferdinand.
Yes.
Let me ask you about the one thing I think I agree with you on, the one I would put on there, a pin on my chest about Trump is, why would you laugh about or joke about Second Amendment people? And why would you think that's funny, given our horrible history of assassination going back to Lincoln, Garfield, McKinley, Reagan, Kennedy, Malcolm X, Bobby Kennedy, Martin Luther King? This history of assassination in this country is unlike any other country in the world, and to joke about it.
And the reason why he will do that, if you remember about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, his ghostwriter came on and was making the rounds and speaking to everybody. But the one thing that stood out in his conversation to me, I think, I don't know if it was on MSNBC when he said it, he said, when I interviewed Donald Trump, the one thing he was so proud of, he said, I'm the same person I was when I was 8 years old. Well, guess what? That's exactly what you were seeing right now. An 8-year-old. Why? One who doesn't want to learn anything, thinks they know everything, throws temper tantrums at the drop of a dime, literally won't even bother doing their homework unless you stay on top of them. Donald Trump is the same 8-year-old he was when he wrote his book that he is today. It's
like the kid in the back seat saying, the sister just made a face at me. Somebody just made a face at me. She's on my side. Kids like that shouldn't be driving the car. Thank you so much, Montel Williams.
Thank you.